Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television, where your pictures and videos are accorded your attention. Now, let me begin by wishing you a very prosperous 2019. I am Chris Elems. It's the first edition for the year, and people are already planning on how to impact the environment and induce the much-needed change. On our menu today is Abete community, where water, sanitation, and healthcare have become a luxury the people can barely afford. Join us on this trip to Abete community in Apapa Igomu LCDA. This is System 5, a major canal that cuts across several localities in Lagos, constructed to control flooding by channeling water down to the lagoon. The state of the canal at the Apapa Igomu access is very disturbing. Overgrown weeds, garbage, reptiles have taken over, posing a serious danger to those whose houses border it. Abete is one of such communities in dire need of government intervention, as what could be described as an environmental siege lies before them. Giving us an insight into the canal and its impact on the Abete people is the councillor representing the ward. He tells us that the last time anything was done on the canal was during the Fashila's administration.
Then it was not flapped like this. It was plain sand from the both sides. But when they start this System 5, of which we felt that it is going to be a blessing to this community, it was later abandoned for many years. And this has become a threat to the people of this community now. This community have been enjoying a lot of things before now. Children are there playing all the way on the street. There are houses that people are living comfortably, but now, because of this System 5 that has been abandoned and the flow of the water, I think in 1996, we faced a lot of problems with this canal, that it overflowed into the community, and a lot of people have to abandon their houses, and a lot of people have to abandon their businesses.
With no pipe-borne water in the community, they seek alternative means of piping water to their houses using long pipe which runs through the dirty canal. Another possible cause for concern.
We don't have water. We don't have water, but there are some individual water vendors that can go to any length. You can see the pipes that they are laying through the same drainage that is bad. And if you can see this pipe, any slight broken in this pipe, the children are not safe. We are not safe. But what can we do when we don't have the water from the government? And I don't know how government can just help us out with that. If I take you down to the end of this street now, this canal, there are companies that pump down their wastewater. You see children taking that water for baths because there is no water. There was a time that we have cholera outbreak, but it was not pronounced. It was not pronounced because the way it happens, before they could call Jack, those people have died. They have died.
Abete community parades a lot of young people and children who have become accustomed to living on a knife's edge owing to a very, very filthy environment without healthcare facility.
Here is football field. That is the building of, that is the remains of the building of Ijora.
People carry out all forms of domestic activities here, such as washing, cooking, treading on the pile of dirt. These water tanks, like many others, is located close to the canal. The local council supervisor on youth and sports development thinks if Lagos got a special status or a commission, projects such as this would have been adequately taken care of.
What I would just want to say is that the Federal Ministry of Environment should please come into our aid. And again, I would like to call upon the federal government itself to please, if they could put, Lagos State into consideration in terms of giving the Lagos State, a status, befitting status. Meanwhile, there's nothing wrong if they can give Lagos State its commission. That commission will start coordinating the affairs of the entire the entire Lagos State as a whole, particularly where we have this challenge of a thing. Because look at this canal. People are dying here on a daily basis because this thing causes cholera. It causes malaria of a thing. Mosquito. Because if mosquito bites you now, automatically you have malaria.
The numbers of abandoned projects within Abete are telltale signs of how beaten they've been. To navigate the community, these wooden bridges, which have almost been overtaken by weeds and possibly reptiles, come handy.
I was allowing you to do your job, I will support you. But now that you have entered court, you have appeared, you have to all that school to remain. Nobody wants to
One of the residents shared how she was confronted by one such reptile in her apartment.
So say get the time water you come this side. Plenty the water you reach here safe. Get the time you reach here safe. Go for that you enter my room. I don't know like this I go do I dey cry for inside there.
Wildlife is certainly not at its best here. The little ones carry on innocently, unmindful of the danger they are either born into or bred in. The possibility of transfer of germs and diseases by domestic animals is also quite high, with exposed foodstuff and water everywhere. Some other residents, including Ijora, who is the president of the Landlords and Tenants Association, says the canal they thought was a blessing has brought them more pain.
For the absence of these canals, this place was a motorable road. People were living, building houses. There was no problem. But when the government came and said they wanted to channel the canals, we welcomed it as a welcome development, thinking that it's going to be something that's going to be very effective and help for the rubbish and everything to flow through. That is the wastewaters. But unfortunately, since they have invented these canals, houses in this area cannot be habitable anymore. Waters are flowing in. All these farm tanks and gas companies are now bringing their waste from their compound there, inflow into the community. The farm tanks wash their tanks, maybe quarterly or monthly, we don't know. But when they have washed their tank or washed their waste in their compound, they pump it back into our canals. And these canals, they are not looking at whether those canals are flowing or not. They're not even thinking about that. We've written them series of letters that these canals are not flowing. Let's jointly with all the community mix together and find a solution to this canal, how it can be packed and moved away. But whenever they are parking, they park back on the land, leaving the rods or the canal wastage. They are parked on the land, and that land begins to submerge and become muddy and very inhabitable for the citizenry. So everything they pack still goes back into people's compound, and therefore it's not habitable. The government has good plans, but unfortunately they don't complete them. They have about 7 projects here they wanted to do in this area for roads and canals and also these things. So the only thing we can do to improve these canals is for us to finish those roads and use piling sheets to sink within the sides, the 2 sides of the canal. These piling sheets will now be concreted on the top and used as slab so that it will last forever. These channels of canals really to Cholera, Ajegunle, Ifelodun, all local government, Koka, Aguda, everywhere, they are interwoven. They link into one another. We can use this as a channel canal whereby we can be flying flyboat or ferry craft on top of it. If they can use piling sheet to pile these canals and dredge it to a very low level that it will be higher than twice my height or thrice my height, so that it will be able to flow water easily and people will not be able to dump rubbish into it again. So these are the kind of things. And if you look at the waste of all this thing, these are waste material that can be used in generating electricity. If it is burnt, incinerated, it can be used to generate electricity.
For the time being, Adebayo Aremu, a health officer, says they can only do as much as they could without a healthcare center in their domain.
Our own is to make sure we take care of their child, because like from 0 to 5 now, we have a different type of injection given to them at times. We need to give them drugs. Like about 2 weeks ago now, we give them vitamin A, we give them deworming. So, but based on this environment, we just need to appeal to the government to please to help us, because this place is not good for our health. It's not proper. If you enter inside now, it's still worse than what we are seeing here. And people are still living there. So please, we need the help of our government to come to our aid here so that they will be able to support us. It's beyond the local government efforts. We appeal to the state government and the federal government to assist us so that everything will go smoothly. This place not like this, it's not like this before. And then secondly, please, we appeal to the government. We need healthcare here. We need something like hospital here. If anything happens, maybe day, night, or anytime, even for those who want to deliver the born baby, we still need to go far, either to go Olojowo. And this is not a motorable place. If somebody want to deliver baby, you can't even get strength to move. So I going to carry him to carry out to Olojowo in the night, or to go to Ijora. I think you know Ijora, very far. Almost 2 or 3 kilometers to this place.